Alright, so in this lesson we're going to take a look at how to practically use AntiPortals inside of a level. So here we're taking a look at the Antilus map with all of its optimization stuff removed.
Right. I took all of the AntiPortals out of the level. I also hit a bunch of the other volumes just to make it a little bit easier to see what we're working with.
Okay.
And I'm definitely not going to do all of Antilus. As a matter of fact, I'm only going to do a few choice parts just to show how we would go and start shaping some AntiPortals to roughly fit some of the terrain, maybe some of the static meshes, so we start blocking off various parts of the level.
Cool.
As a quick demonstration of why this is necessary, I want to take a look at just one part of the map and how dense things can get. So, yeah, no, I hope I'm not boring anyone with these quick tests, but again, just to kind of stress the point. Before I activate wireframe, though, I want to go over to this corner of the level. So we've got this nice rock wall, but we probably have a lot of level on the other side of it. If I go into R mode 1, I'd say things get pretty dense.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Some areas over there almost become solid blue and white.
Mm-hmm.
If I was to drop the FOV down to 10 and zoom way in, it's still crazily dense.
Oh, yeah.
On an FOV of 10.
Thousands of triangles.
So with that, now I'm going to take a look at exactly how to start adding AntiPortals in to help optimize some of this. The first thing I'm going to do is take this little piece of terrain across here and set up an AntiPortal inside of it so it starts occluding.
Okay.
To set that up, I'm going to start with a cylinder. But I'm going to take that cylinder now, maybe move it over some so this is the general area we're working with.
So probably a silly question, I'm sure, but are you going to be showing them how to set up all of the AntiPortals and whatnot for this entire level?
No, I'm only going to grab a few areas because, I mean, this is quite an expansive level, and
I was going to say, this level's pretty huge.
The different angles you can look at everything, all the different possible places to add things in, that could take quite a while, and quite a bit of planning and thinking. So what we're going to do here is just take, maybe from our view here, maybe stretch across this part just a little bit, and then take a look at that big rock wall back there and make sure that that's all blocked off.
Okay.
Just to show what one part of the level would look like after being optimized.
Right.
So the thing is, though, I don't really want to, definitely don't want the cylinder that wide jutting out into the level. I want to narrow it out and then maybe stretch it out across, edit some vertices. So let me open up its properties. For the outer radius, I'm going to bring that all the way down to 128. Okay. So we can grab that. That way it's definitely not jutting out into the level at all. We can size it up from that. Also, the height, I'm probably going to up that to 1024, just so that I make sure I have enough height so that no matter how low in the level you go, you don't ever see through it. Right. Because there's nothing really underneath the level. We can extend the AntiPortals as far down as need be. Because no one's ever actually going to get down there.
That makes sense.
I'm going to hold control of both mouse buttons to constrain down in Z, just to lower this. Also, I've turned on the terrain in my orthographic views. I just went in any view and hit T. So it makes it a little bit easier to see exactly where some of the terrain's lining up. Right. Maybe I'll hit W and hide static meshes, zoom in a little bit. That's looking okay. So now I want to take this, though, and stretch it over, as there's quite a bit of terrain. If we start looking this way, we could pretty much go almost all the way across this to the other side. Right. Because if we go down in here, there's nothing really in there. That little room is off to the side. Mm-hmm. So we could pretty much stretch the AntiPortal the length of the hill in this case. So I'm going to zoom in on the brush a little bit, maybe W to hide static meshes, and activate vertex editing mode. I'm using Control-Alt and left dragging to select multiple vertices, and then Control-Alt-Shift left dragging to add on to that. So I have half the vertices of this cylinder selected. That makes sense. I'll hold Control and left drag those, so I can drag them out to the side. Now I'm kind of curious to see where that static mesh is, so I'll hit W to turn them back on, and drag it right up about to the static mesh. Now I'll look around a little bit to make sure that there's no points where it would really be sticking out of the level. That's a little close, but it should be underneath the terrain. Okay. And over on this side, again, we have static meshes and everything else to hide it. Right. So again, we have a nice occluding wall all the way across it. So if we're behind the hill, then that's a lot of stuff that's going to be blocked off. Okay, cool. So with that, I'm going to go back to the normal camera mode. And again, all this work has been done just to the builder brush. So with this sized and in place, I'm going to go ahead and hit Add AntiPortal. So there we have the official AntiPortal in place. Next, I might take a look at the central area just a little bit. This can be a little bit trickier. Let me turn off static meshes as well. Kind of need those on to see. But there's a central area around the top, kind of where the underground building was built in, but a sort of roundish area that can be added in. This requires a lot of tweaking to get perfect, so I'm just going to rough it in. Not as much will be hidden, but you can see, you'll get the idea where to start on this.
Makes sense.